Sunny Hostin never stops ripping on the cops. View co-host Sunny Hostin says she introduced her son to the police ahead of time so they don't harass him for jogging in her all-white neighborhood.
Sunny Hostin claims she's so worried about racial profiling that she had to take her teenage son to the local police station and introduce him. She told the cops, "This is my son. Do not harass him. Do not stop him." Now think about this. She's essentially saying the police are so casually racist that they hunt black teenagers running through neighborhoods. But here's the thing. She also moved to an all-white neighborhood specifically for safety. So she simultaneously claims that neighborhood is a dangerous racial hunting ground and that it's the safest place to raise her family. These two things don't add up.
As a mother of black children, I know that black boys are not given the presumption of innocence and presumption of youth. I have had to be in the position where I have gone to my local police department because I know my son is going to be training for the Junior Olympics, running around the neighborhood in an all-white neighborhood, and I have brought him to the police and said, "He belongs to me. This is my son. Do not harass him. Do not stop him."
Okay, so Sunny lives in an all-white neighborhood. That's a choice. A choice she made for safety and quality of life. The same reasons most people choose where they live. But then she's complaining that this same neighborhood is so racist that black boys can't even jog without police harassment. Here's what Gutfeld points out that's absolutely genius. You can't pick the safest neighborhood and then claim that neighborhood is a racial hunting ground. That's a fundamental contradiction.
A typical Democrat moving to an all-white neighborhood, then bitching about racism. Hey, lady, there's a reason you live in that all-white neighborhood. You picked the safest place for you and your family. Now you're ragging on the cops. If you want to relocate to the south side of Chicago, it's a buyer's market. Sadly there, your son will train by running from gunfire and not from the cops.
Notice the audience went wild because Gutfeld hit on something undeniable, a logical contradiction so obvious it's almost absurd. You can't pick a neighborhood for safety and then act like it's a danger zone. But here's where it gets psychological. Tyrus brings up something really insightful. Maybe Sunny is dealing with some internal conflict about her own success. She's a prominent TV host, she's wealthy, and she's successful. And maybe, just maybe, she's performing social justice activism to maintain credibility in progressive circles, even when her actual life choices contradict that narrative. It's about credentialing, staying relevant in a certain conversation by always positioning yourself as oppressed, even when your life tells a different story.
She is feeling guilty about being a successful black lady who lives with white people, so she has to play.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Successful slave-owning black woman. Get it right.
Yeah, slave-owned. Her ancestors owned
Yes.
slaves. So she has to play up this, like, I am a target of oppression, so she can remain on a credentialed level with other blacks.
This is the moment where the whole thing becomes obviously counterproductive. Kat nails it. Introducing your kid to cops and saying, "Don't arrest him," is the opposite of helpful. It's like walking into a bank and announcing to the security guard, "Just so you know, I'm not planning to rob this place." You've now flagged yourself as suspicious. If you go to the police and essentially say, "Hey, watch out for my son," because people might harass him, you've literally given them reason to watch out for your son. You've defeated the entire purpose. As Greg points out, the actual smart move is, you don't announce anything to the cops. You just tell your kid to jog on a track, which, by the way, is where Junior Olympics athletes actually train.
Yeah, what would be great is that she tells the cops, "This is my son. He's training for the Junior Olympics or whatever." And they go, "Okay, great, whatever, Sonny." And then she goes to her kid, "I need you to steal it."
You can do the same thing at a hospital. You take her husband to a hospital. Look, "This is my husband. He's not committing any crime. Just let him operate on it wherever he wants to."
That's a great skit, Dana. See, if SNL did good skits, it would be the woman who shows up and tells all white people that her husband or her kid is not a criminal. "Hi, I just want you to let you know that my son Billy is not a criminal." "Yeah, but do you want paper or plastic?"
Here's the critical point. Junior Olympics athletes train on tracks, organized tracks, with coaches, other athletes, timing officials. not just jogging around the neighborhood. This isn't a minor detail. This is fundamental to her entire story. She's claiming her son is training for the Junior Olympics by running around a residential neighborhood in an all-white area. But that's not how Junior Olympics training works. It's organized, structured, witness.so. Either she's exaggerating the training to make the neighborhood jogging sound more innocent, or this story is constructed and the details don't actually hold up because they weren't meant to be scrutinized. And here's what Greg points out. She's smearing a specific police department, by name presumably, without any evidence this incident ever actually happened. She made a serious accusation of systemic racism based on an anecdote. An anecdote that doesn't make logical sense.
And the easiest thing to do is to smear the cops without saying their name.
Yes.
And then you can imagine the guys tomorrow morning are going to be like, "Did you see Gutfeld last night? And were you here when Sonny came in with her son?"
Yeah.
And they'll find out it never happened.
It never happened, and you're right. But she's inferring that they are reflexively racist.
Right.
Now, I don't know where she lives. The View tapes in New York, right? So I don't know if it's a California home or New York home. They might be bi-coastal.
And here's the smoking gun. Greg points out that she's making an accusation against law enforcement without any verification that this incident even happened. She broadcast this on national television to millions of people. She implicitly accused a police department of racial profiling. And the cops involved have no way to defend themselves because they don't even know they've been accused. This is a perfect example of something that happens constantly. An inflammatory anecdote is presented, it gets applause from an ideologically aligned audience, it spreads on social media, and by the time anyone fact-checks it, the narrative is already established in people's minds. The panel realizes this story has everything: the contradiction, the logical holes, the unverified detail, the lack of evidence. It's a case study in how narratives are constructed and accepted without scrutiny.
I think Kat brought up the greatest point, which is like to draw attention and go like, please. It reminds me of that time I told you I wasn't secretly gay. To bring that up. I feel like also, you know, not to be all technical, but she does not live in an all-white neighborhood.
Right.
Also, when you train for the Junior Olympics, don't you run on like a track?
You know what? I gotta tell you,
neighborhood?
this story should have been the lead.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, all the things that we're talking about. It has everything. It's like a freaking hoax. She just lied.
So let's recap what we just witnessed. A successful media personality made a serious allegation of racial profiling by police, constructed a story to support it, broadcast it nationally, and faced zero accountability. Meanwhile, the police department she implicitly accused, they just have to live with it. And it turns out even the basic facts of her story, where she lives, don't check out. This is what happens when ideology matters more than accuracy. When performance matters more than truth. When there's no cost to making unverifiable claims that support a preferred narrative. The real victims here are the police officers being implicitly smeared and the public discourse becoming less trustworthy. That if you think media figures should be held accountable for unverified claims, hit that like button. Subscribe for more media criticism and cultural analysis. And drop a comment. Do you think this should have been fact-checked before broadcast?